If you couldn't tell by the recorded anticipatory set, you should be able to tell now that we are going to be talking about test-taking strategies. We are trying to avoid this from happening. Objective tests, true and false, matching, multiple choice. The desired result is that you guys, by the end of the lesson, will understand the difference between true and false, matching, and multiple choice questions. Additionally, that you feel confident in the strategies that we go over to help you kind of decide what the best answer is. In terms of preparation, highlight and mark your notes and text. You have the ability of doing this in a Word document, as well as if you print the information out and highlight it with a pen and paper or a highlighter marker. Develop and use flashcards. I know it's a little bit time consuming to make flashcards. You can do it digitally. I really suggest it. It allows you to test yourself. Additionally, you can simulate testing situations by asking someone else to test you using the flashcards. True and false questions. Let's talk about them. True and false tests or questions provide excellent odds for guessing. You have a 50% chance of getting the answer right in a true and false question. There are many ways to make a statement false, so they can be tricky. Let's go over some hints for taking true or false tests. Make your best guess. Absolute statements which contain words as always, all, never, or none tend to be false. Statements containing qualifying words such as usually, sometimes, many, few, may, can, or frequently are usually true. Sitting in front of a room, these are examples of absolute statements, the ones that tend to be false. Sitting in front of a room will assure you of getting good grades. You should always make diagrams when studying for a test. Everyone loves to play Monopoly, and the best game for young children is jacks. Absolute statements tend to be false. This is something to be aware of when taking true and false tests. Qualifying statements tend to be true. Chess is usually played by adults. Trivial Pursuit may be played by groups of people. Some students use recall columns when they take lecture notes, and some students who fail exams may suffer from high levels of test anxiety. So, matching tests. Matching tests require you to recognize the correct answer from a list of alternatives. All you have to do is memorize. Hints for taking matching tests. Glance through both lists first to get an overview. Work from one side only, usually the one with the most words. Answer the items you are sure of first. Go through the list more than once, eliminating alternatives. Mark through the letter, not the word, so you can review later. For you guys, this isn't necessarily going to be an issue because a lot of the times you guys are going to be taking the test digitally. Don't choose the first answer you see that seems correct. Items later in the list may be a better choice. Hints for taking matching tests. Do not be afraid to draw on information from other courses and your own experience to help you figure out the answers. As for multiple choice exams are very often not based simply on recognition of basic ideas. They very often require you to reason through a problem using the course material. You cannot be just familiar with the material. You must also be able to understand it thoroughly, define it, analyze it, apply it, and think critically about it. Some strategies for multiple choice. Strategy 1, preview the exam. Take note of questions that look easier. Read through the questions before trying to answer them. Jot down notes or formulas in the margins to help you. Calculate how much time per question you have. For this, for our tests and quizzes, this isn't necessarily an issue because right now there is no timed question. Eventually, there may be. Strategy 2, answer questions in a strategic order. Start with easy questions first. It raises your confidence with a fast start and helps to settle you down and ensure you get credit for what you know. Get the most points in the least amount of time. Strategy 3, set goals for time. Allocate time in proportion to the relative value of questions. Save more time for questions that are worth more points. Pace yourself accordingly. Strategy 4, read the questions carefully, twice if absolutely necessary. For example, on the first read asks, what topic is this question about? On the next read, it might say, what specifically is the question asking about? Not just the topic. What specifically is the question asking about? Read questions carefully. Strategy 5, work to eliminate incorrect alternatives rather than looking for the right answer. If I have a category, it says, or I have a question that says, what color is the sky? I see A, red, B, blue, C, navy blue, D, gold. Although that might be easy for some of us, it helps to eliminate the questions. Eliminate the answers that we know are wrong. We know it's not gold. We know it's not green. Blue or navy blue. That's kind of tricky. And maybe it's safe to just say blue. It could be a list of who is our current president. What if I wrote Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump, Barack Obama, George Bush? You would eliminate through those questions to find the right answer. Don't always look for the correct answer right away. There might be an alternative that works out better. Use logic and common sense and change your answers only if you have a good reason to do so. Changing an answer just because you're unsure is typically a really bad idea. Strategy 6, be wary of answers with absolute words, like the true and false questions. All, always, and never are absolute words. More moderate words such as few, often, usually, and some are often better choices. Those are also qualifying statements. Strategy 7, if you absolutely have no idea about the answer to a question, go ahead and guess. Providing an answer won't penalize you. In general, it's best just not to leave a question blank. That's guaranteeing yourself a 0. Temporarily ignore all the above or none of the above and other combination answers. Use a true and false label strategy on the alternatives that make actual content before considering combinations. Strategy 9, when given all of the above or none of the above alternatives, realize that one answer cancels out either alternative. So if in a none of the above, meaning none of the above are true, or none of the above answer the question, you have to look to see if any of the answers are true or false. Realizing that one answer, just one wrong answer, cancels out either alternative. Strategy 10, Read all choices before selecting the correct choice. Look for familiar alternatives. Examine each alternative closely for the 1 or 2 words that distinguish it from other answers. Assess the meaning of those words before selecting your answer. Now, let's practice by answering some lesson questions. This is just a practice taking true or false, matching, and multiple choice questions. The questions are going to be very simple. If you are, confused, it is just a practice. Good luck, and I can't wait to see you guys in the live class. Bye.